Hi, this is Terri. Welcome back to my channel. We're recording this on Thursday, a little bit ahead. Ray, you should be happy about that.
Rather.
Okay, good. COVID day 132 of sheltering in place. And it's hard right now. It's really hard.
When was it not hard?
I'm just seeing cracks in you that I'm worried about.
I have a therapist mother. I'm fine.
Okay, well, I'm glad you have a therapist. Adam's really struggling, and it's hard. We're not going very far. You went to the East Bay today. Where did you go?
Lake Chabot.
Oh, you went to Lake Chabot. So that's kind of the furthest that you've gone from the house. Typically, You're within a very small radius from the house, and I'm not going too far either. And I think that this seriously impacts our mental health. Which leads me to today's topic, which is around friendship. Because I have been receiving through time on the tennis court with some friends, I've been receiving tennis court therapy. So sun therapy, tennis court therapy, and physical in terms of hitting the ball hard, getting some aces, having some success out on the court, which is, I think, saving my sanity right now. And the love and support that I've been feeling from my tennis friends lately has been absolutely invaluable. And I've been doing research for my next book, Piloting to Power, although a friend of mine, who I now talk to on a weekly basis, has suggested that maybe I should write kind of a utopian fiction novel.
Where the frig did that come from?
So, Candace, a friend of mine who's up in Portland, who I do a weekly FaceTime call with, just asked, what would I consider doing what would it look like for women to have more power, to have it be a more diverse and representative society? And what would that look like? And so I kind of am noodling over that. So I love that I have friends who I can now see on a regular basis through Zoom calls or Teams or, whatever the hell, FaceTime, whatever the hell I'm doing. Because once again, my friends are saving me and supporting me. As I've been doing research, so getting back to where I was starting with that, for Piloting to Power, I read the book, The New I Do. I also was listening to some podcasts, the Unladylike podcast. I'm going to put the links in the in the description, because what I loved about one of the episodes that was the series that's on being single is reevaluating friendship, reevaluating the way that we support each other as women, reevaluating just what we are expecting from our communities and the women around us, and changing some of the societal norms around that. So it's really gotten me thinking about friends and friendship. And as a verbal processor, it's really important for me to talk to my friends and work through various different issues. And the last 2 weeks have been really, really, really tough. And being able to talk through things with my friends, whether it's socially distanced out front at our house or at other people's houses over a glass of wine, or doing these FaceTime or Zoom calls, or out on the tennis court, or even going for a hike. This has saved me. And
what you're saying is that therapy would really help you.
Yeah, but the idea of, that's a really good thing, because I've thought about therapy, but the idea of trying to find someone and then starting all over with, foundational type stuff and getting them up to speed, and then not knowing if it's going to be a good fit or not. Because I've done therapy in the past, and I think everybody deserves therapy. I think it's a good thing. I just cannot stand the idea of starting all over and then potentially having to try one after another to find a good fit. And so in talking to the wide variety of friends that I have of all sorts of different ages, they've been through all sorts of different things. And so I can hear they can listen to me, tell me, their stories, their experiences, and then I can take all these little pieces and kind of put together in my head whatever my path forward is going to be. So yes, therapy would be great, but not right now. But one of the things from the first of the Unladylike episodes that was so great was I love the idea of normalizing saying I love you to my friends, and that love can be, that we can be more expressive and more emotive about how we care for our friends and the people in our lives. And so now I'm making more of an effort after I get off the phone or after I see my friends, certain ones, not all of them, but certain ones, just saying, I love you. And it feels really good to put that out. And it also feels really good to come back into me. And this is not how I was raised. This was not something that has been, I don't know, socially acceptable. I don't know if it was just in my realm, but I know that it's not like I had a lot of other people saying I love you to me, so I'm sure it wasn't the way that they were raised either. But it's gotten me thinking about just how we can be there for each other as women in supporting each other and helping to fill the gaps in our lives. Because, with the new I Do, the challenge around that is, challenging what we expect about marriage. And then the Unladylike series was on, what if we made it so that coupledom wasn't the expected, that somehow being single, you don't have to be a pariah if you're single, and people need to stop asking questions like, what, do you have and this is for primarily heteros, but why aren't you in a relationship? Why don't you have a boyfriend? When are you getting married? When are you going to have kids? All of this kind of, this previously accepted or expected lockstep kind of progression. And it's like, what if we break that? What if we completely break that down? And just said, yeah, being single is totally acceptable. And if you're single, then obviously you're going to fill your life with other people to give you what you need that you might expect from, somebody who's a romantic partner. And with the new I Do, that's also breaking down, what to expect out of marriage, how long it has to last, what kind of marriage you would go into, why you would go into it, and having open communication about what both parties are expecting. And this is for hetero and non-hetero marriages, but knowing what you're expecting going into it, and then having some sort of a contract around that. And then if you know that there are kind of, I want to say, gaps, or you're going to have needs or wants that are outside of that framework, then you create an amazing support structure in terms of your friends to fill those gaps and give you what you need. So it's just been a very interesting time during sheltering in place, where I know I'm spending a lot more time with my friends and being a lot more intentional about spending time, whether it's virtual, it's on the phone, over video, or, socializing in the front yard at a safe distance. And it's been very interesting, and I guarantee that this is not something that I'm going to give up, and I'm going to continue to develop my friendships in ways so that I can feel very well supported, and that I'm surrounded by the people who I know are bringing out the best in me. So Ray, how have you been with your friends during sheltering in place?
We've gotten a lot closer, actually.
That's good. This brings up another thing around asking for help and being willing to be vulnerable and ask for help. We had a tragic situation last week, and I had some friends ask me to do something that was pretty big, and I said, of course, because this is what I do, and I think this is what a lot of women do, is we say yes, we step in where it's, where we're needed, and we just get shit done. Kind of like AOC said, bitches get shit done, or something to that effect. And I like the idea of really developing and relying on our community. And this is something that is going to be in, if I write this fiction book, there is going to be a lot of community in there, and the importance of community, because I see how valuable it is when we're able to support each other and be there for each other, and realize that there's no request that's too small and there's no request that's too big. And also know that we have the luxury of saying no if it's just not the right fit, and having that level of trust. So I hope this all made sense and it wasn't too wandery. It's been a tough couple of weeks, and hopefully I'll be coming out of it soon, but you just never quite know. Some things are outside of my hands, and I'm just incredibly grateful. So if you are one of my friends who's out there watching, if you're a new friend, if you're an old friend, it's not an age thing. Thank you. I love you. I really appreciate the support and the love, and I couldn't do this without you. So with that, anything else?
We're vibing.
So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And let go of perfection, take some risks, and above all else, have some fun and support your friends.